All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're almost done with the full set review for OP10. We've got the black cards today. Tomorrow will be yellow, and then we will be done. Okay, so don't worry. We're almost done. We had to get this over with. We had to muscle through this. But yeah, if you're not really into the set review videos, don't worry. Hop to the end of the video, and I will have gameplay of ST08 Luffy. Okay, not ST14, the what a lot of people call Blaffy. No, this is the other Black Luffy leader. So you'll be able to hop to the end of the video and check that out. Speaking of which, I'll have everything timestamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below. And let's do this, guys. We're done with the leaders: red, green, blue, purple. We got black today, tomorrow yellow, and then after that we're back to our normal, back to our regularly scheduled program, so to speak. Okay, so let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. So there's actually quite a bit of Dressrosa cards, Dressrosa / Straw Hat Crew cards for black. So the red cards, there was a lot of Punk Hazard. For the blue cards, there was a lot of Dressrosa. For green, there was a lot of Odyssey. And for purple, there was quite a bit of Don Quixote Pirates. For black, we're going to see a lot of Dressrosa and Straw Hat stuff, along with a few other random things here and there, of course. Like I think Marshall D. Teach is going to get some support as well. Okay, let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. So first up is Usopp. This is a 4-cost, 5,000 power character, 1k counter, Dressrosa Straw Hat Crew type. They have a, this card has an on-play effect of you may rest one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards and then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. Okay, pops to 2 or less, and then it does trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. That's very nice. So with this kind of card in your deck, you definitely can, even if you're playing on curve, going second, you might be able to go turn 1, maybe play out a one-legged toy soldier or something like that. Turn 2, play out Usopp, and you might be able to pop whatever they played last turn. It's not like the greatest tempo play. At least I don't think it is. Who knows? We'll have to see. It doesn't seem like the greatest tempo play, but it does seem like it will be a very strong combo for late in the game when you already have an Orlumbus on the board. So if I were to rate this card in a vacuum, though, I do think it's pretty nice being a 4-cost 5k with a 1k counter. It has the ability to KO a character and fill up your trash. I'm going to give this card a solid 7.5 out of 10. This is a very strong card, very solid card. Not busted or anything, but very solid. And the art, I absolutely love the black, red, and white and gold going on. Looks incredible. Really, really cool looking art piece there. Okay, next up we have Kuzan. We have a 5-cost, 5,000 power Kuzan here. This is an SR, former Navy, Blackbeard Pirates type. And it says this character cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effects. Activate main, you may trash this character and draw a card. Then play up to 1 Blackbeard Pirates type character card from type. Okay, let's retry that. Activate main, you may trash this character, draw 1 card. That part is just perfect as is. Then play up to 1 Blackbeard Pirates type character card with a cost of 5 or less other than Kuzan from your trash. So that's very interesting. This is a very, very powerful card because you're going to be able to bring back Burgess. You're going to be able to bring back even like maybe Katarina Devon if you're running that card. You can bring back almost anything in the Blackbeard kit if you think about it. I'm trying to think if there's any like 6-cost or higher cards people run that are Blackbeard Pirates other than Marshall D. Teach himself. And at the time, I don't really think there are that many. But so this is a very powerful card. Only downside is it is very understated for an effect that powerful, and it does not have a counter. So you cannot fill up your trash with this card by countering out. However, you can fill up your trash by trashing it with your leader's effect in order to shut off your opponent's on play effects for the next turn. So this card is just really, really strong. The fact that it can bring cards back from the trash, and it's going to draw a card to replace itself, and it cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effects. Yeah, this card is outstanding, guys. I'm going to give this thing a nice 8 to 8.5 out of 10. It does require you to build around it, and like I said, it does not have a counter. It does not have stats. It is meant for something else entirely, but it does it very well. So I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I know a lot of people think it might be a little better than that, and I understand that in the in the deck this is going in. But I think generally speaking, it's really only as good as the cards it can bring out of the trash. That's the best way to explain it. So in other words, if you don't have the Burgess in the trash, if you don't have whatever else you might need in there, like early on, this card is, not insane. It's still very good, but it's not insane. Okay, next up, oh wow, check out this alt art, guys. That is really cool alt art. Big fan of this alt art. I actually like, okay, this is one of the rare situations where hands down, I think the alt art is just strictly better than the original. I am not a huge fan of this original art. For some reason, it does not look like Kuzan to me. Not trying to be disrespectful to the artist. I think it still looks very good, but it doesn't really, okay, the pose does. And, the glasses, the hair, everything but that look. Like, I don't know. I think he should be a little more serious looking. But either way, this is still a really good piece. But man, this one is really cool. Good stuff. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we have a Kazuki Momonosuke. This is a 2-cost, 0-power, 2K counter. This is a Dressrosa, Land of Wano, Kazuki clan type character. In black, by the way. In black is very interesting. It has activate main. You may rest this character in one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards, and then give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. Okay, so Land of Wano. I'm trying to think. I wonder if this will be something... But you may rest... Yeah. Okay. Hang on. No, okay. I was going to say maybe we can run this in Perona, but notice what it says. Activate main, you may rest this character in one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards. Then you can give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost for the turn. So it's not actually usable in Perona unless you make some very... very interesting decisions like to run the stage or something. So not really ideal, not really what we're going for, but who knows, in the future, this might be very nice. Because if you could combo this with Ryuma in the future, that could be a very powerful combo if they come out with like a black-green Land of Wano card in the future. In the future. Really cool, though. I will say this, nothing insane, but it is another effect like... what's his name? One-Legged Toy Soldier. So I'm going to give this card a nice solid 7.5 out of 10. I give all 2K counters 7 out of 10 baseline. So I'm going to make it a little bit better than an average, or, I'll make it like a little bit better than average for a 2K counter, I guess, because this is going to be very easy to pull off in Dressrosa. This is just a 2-cost, -2 to that guy, and now they have to deal with it on the board, or you can do it again next turn. It will probably cost you a leader attack a lot of times, but if you can use the stage instead, super high value. Okay, San Juan Wolf. This is a 5-cost, 7K, 1K counter, giant Blackbeard Pirates type character, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because it's just a vanilla. Next up, we have Burgess. Okay, here's a 5-cost, 6,000 power character we can bring back potentially with our Kuzan, right? Let's see what he does. This is a Dressrosa Blackbeard Pirates type character. And he has Dawn ×1. If you have 8 or more cards in your trash, this character gains Rush. Wow. No counter. Very glad to see that there's no counter, because this card seems incredibly strong. And one more thing I do want to mention, I do want to, really bring attention to, is this is not locked to a leader. This is not locked to Blackbeard Pirates. Yes, Blackbeard Pirates will be able to fill up the trash very easily, but so will Dressrosa. So this ends up being a 5-cost 6K. It really becomes like a 6-cost 7K rusher in the decks that will run this. Not bad. A 6-cost 7K rusher, I think most people will take that. This is basically like a Neko Mamushi style of character here. The 5-cost 6K Neko Mamushi, where it has a situational rush attached to it. So does this one. You have to have 8 or more cards in your trash. With the green Neko Mamushi, your opponent has to have 7 or more rested cards. But this is still very powerful. I'm a huge fan of this card. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think it's broken. It does require setup, but I do not think it will be very hard to set this card up. Really good stuff here. Okay, next up we have a Shiryu card. This is a 4-cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter, Blackbeard Pirates type character. The effect is on your opponent's turn, this character gains plus 2,000 power. And then activate main once per turn if your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type. And this character was played on this turn. Okay, so it's one of those on this turn effects only. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 3 or less. That's really good. So this is like the new version of Doc Q. That's not to say they won't still run Doc Q, but just that this card is in a similar vein. But instead of being a card that replaces itself on KO like Doc Q, where it has on KO draw a card, this card gets plus 2,000 power. So this is essentially a 4-cost 7,000 power character for your opponent to remove. And that is a lot. That is actually a lot to deal with. It does not replace itself, but when it comes into play, you're going to be able to potentially remove a character right away with it. A pretty decent-sized character that costs a 3 or less. And remember, guys, this is a 4-cost character. So your opponent, like, say you're playing it on curve. Say you go second as Blackbeard, and your opponent goes first. So they go one drop, you go 2 drop, they go 3 drop, then you go 4 drop. Shiryu. You get the 4 drop in, and then right away activate this. Activate main. Once per turn, if your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, this character's play on this turn. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 3. I do not like that this card does not have to rest itself in order to do that effect, even though it can only be used on the first turn. Because I do think that would have made it a little more balanced for us to be able to attack into it, because it did just have a very powerful effect. And now after this turn, they're going to get to swing for 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever they want with it. But then on my turn again, it's getting plus 2,000 power, like on the opponent's turn. So it's like, oof. I wish they had forced you to tap this card to do that effect. Let me reread it one more time. Activate main once per turn. If your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type and this character was played on this turn, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less. Yeah. Guys, this card is very, very strong. I'm going to give this like an 8 out of 10, maybe even an 8.5 out of 10. I think it has very little to no downside. It's even its stats are good. It has an activate main effect, so that way even if you do get it KO'd early on or in the mid game, you could potentially bring it back with Kuzan and get further value from it, playing it out, for the turn. Actually, let me see something. Yeah, you may trash this character, draw 1 card, then play up to 1 Blackbeard Pirates type character card with a cost of 5 less other than Kuzan from your trash. Yeah, so you would be able to do it like that, and that could be very, very strong. And it has the counter. Yeah, this card's great, guys. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Really good card. Okay, so next up is Tony Chopper. This is a 2-cost, 0 power, 1k counter, animal, Dressrosa, Straw Hat Crew character. And the effect is activate main. You may rest this character in one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand, then you trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Okay, so you're going to rest this character and one of your leader or stage cards, that's Dressrosa, and then if your opponent has 5 more cards in hand, they have to trash a card, and then you trash 2 from the top of your deck. Yeah, this is a pretty good utility card. I don't think this is crazy or anything. This will probably be a lot better in Blue-Black Rebecca. But I mean, that's not to say that Usopp can't run it. Just that I think Rebecca will get more value from this. Just trying to control the game. I'll use this card, rest this character in one of your leader stage cards, and then make them trash a card, and we fill up a card. We fill up 2 cards in our trash. So I do think it's pretty good, but I just don't think it's that crazy. It has no stats, so even if you have to attack with it later, probably not happening. I'm going to give this card like a 6 out of 10 or a 6.5 out of 10. I do think there is value there being able to, number 1, force your opponent to attack into this because they're going to want to get it off the board. And number 2, it fills up your trash. And number 3, it makes them trash a card from their hand. So I do think it's pretty decent. And it has a 1k counter. I will give this a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, Nami, we got a 2-cost, 0 power, 1k counter, Dressrosa Straw Hat Crew type card here, character. The effect is activate main. You may rest this character in one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards, draw a card, then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Wow, okay, really cool searcher. This is a really good searcher. So you're going to rest this character in one of your Dressrosa leader or stages to draw a card. So right away it's replacing itself, and then you're going to trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. I really like this card. This is a awesome searcher. I want to give this like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 because, yeah, you do have to rest your this character and a stage or the leader, but you're going to probably use this in Rebecca, right? Or if you're running in Usopp, you'll be able to rush the stage. Even in Rebecca, you can potentially rest the stage as well. But still, drawing a card, now they have to attack into this, but you're also trashing 2 cards from the top of your deck. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. It's not quite a searcher, but it is a very high value card, and it has a 1k counter. Such a great early game play, and that is something that Dressrosa was lacking, in my personal opinion, in, since OP04. Okay, next up we have Nico Robin. This is a 6 cost, 8,000 power, 1k counter vanilla. Dressrosa Straw Hat type searchable. We're going to give this a 5 out of 10. Just a vanilla. Very solid. Next up is Franky. 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter blocker. Dressrosa Straw Hat crew type. It has on KO, play up to 1 Dressrosa type character card with a cost of 3 or less from your trash rested. Really, really nice effect. It's a 4 cost 5k, it's a 1k counter, it's a blocker. All of that's already good enough to put it in like a 6.5 to 7 range, but then it also has protection, and as a blocker, I can force you to attack into me. So I think this card is like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. This is a really solid card, and this will go very well with the blue card we looked at on, you'll have to check out the blue, I reviewed the blue cards, guys. If you have not seen that, definitely go check that out. But there's a 7 cost Rebecca that this will go perfectly in like a an Usopp, blue-black Usopp deck that has some tempo to it. Could be very strong in there. That new 7 cost Rebecca will be able to cheat this out for the 4 cost character. Really nice. And it will come to play rested in that case, but who cares? Because if they attack into it, you get the on KO effect, and you can bring out a blocker like the 2 cost 2k, I can't remember his name, or the Bartolomeo blocker. So there's 2 decent options to bring back for the blocker spot. Really, really good stuff here. Big fan of this card. I'll give this like an 8 out of 10 or an 8.5, like I said. Okay, got the alt art looking really, really clean. This one looks pretty good too, though. I'm a big fan of this art, but man, this one's got a lot of motion to it. Notice what they did with the composition, showing the gust of wind from this forceful attack here. Like, you can even see it like distorting reality with his arm there. Looks really good. Really cool piece of art here. Okay, next up is Brook. This is a 3 cost, 0 power, 1k counter, Dressrosa Straw Hat crew type character. It has activate main. You may rest this character in one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards. Then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. Then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. So, okay. Not bad. It's trashing 2 cards from the top of your deck. As far as like how good the card is, this seems like the 3 cost Brook. The 3 cost 4k, 1k counter Brook from EV01. It's like a light version of that card. But obviously this is better in a Dressrosa type of deck where you're filling up your trash. And now, you're resting this card, so they want to attack into this card. And if you're running this in Usopp, whenever you lose a character, and I think if you have like 5 or less cards in hand, you get to draw a card if it's a Dressrosa. It's either Dressrosa or Straw Hat type character. Or maybe it's Dressrosa or Straw Hat. I can't remember. We'll check at the end. But either way, this is a very good card. Big fan of this. I'm going to give this just a little 7.5 out of 10. Nothing too crazy. But it does have removal. It is filling up your trash. It does have a 1k counter. And this card is going to see extra play, or extra value when you're using it in conjunction with cards like Orlumbus and whatever other cost reduction you want to run. I think this is a very solid card that your opponent has to respect. They have to deal with it, or else you're going to start wiping their board. And you're filling up your trash. Really good stuff. Okay. So what did I give this, a 7 or a 7? I'll give it a 7 out of 10, actually. I said 7.5. It can't really attack, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Really good. Okay, next up is Perona. This is a 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter, thriller bark pirates type character. The effect is activate main once per turn. You may place 2 thriller bark pirates type cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then up to one of your characters other than Perona gain plus 2,000 power during this turn. Okay, that's probably pretty necessary, because I do think there's, especially in green-black Perona, I do think this might be a necessary effect to help refill your library, because you'll start going through your deck so quickly. With the let me explain like this, guys. There's a version people are messing with in green-black Perona that goes very wide. It spreads the board very wide, and it wants to keep using Sindris. It wants to use Anupes. It wants to even use potentially run the Tarantulan card or whatever his name is. Just lots of ways to trash cards. So this kind of effect will allow you to put cards back on the bottom of your deck, buff characters, and use those smaller characters while developing a bigger body and also making sure you don't mill out of the game. I think this is actually a great card. I don't think it's insane, but it's like a 7 out of 10. This was a much needed card in a certain type of archetype within Green-Black Thriller Bark Pirates for Perona. So really good stuff here. Big fan. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Next up is Saint Homing. This is a 1-cost, 0 power, 1k counter, Celestial Dragon character. Okay. The effect is activate main. You may trash this character. Up to one of your black characters gains +3 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, I think this should have been a 2k counter. In fact, I'm just going to say this should have been a 2k counter. And I'm going to give this like a 4 out of 10. You guys are going to have to explain this one to me if I'm missing some crazy, incredible interaction. But guys, 1 cost for 0 power. It does at least have a 1k counter. But it is a Celestial Dragon. So the type is not super relevant right now, right? Also, the activate main says you may trash this character. So the character's gone. And then up to one of your black characters gains +3 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. So other than in a very specific, extremely technical scenario, this card is not very good. I'm going to give this one of my lower scores. I might give this like a 3 or a 3.5 out of 10. I don't see the purpose in it. You guys tell me what I'm missing in the comment section below, but please be nice. Okay, next up, we got another Ryuma card. This one looks awesome. So this is a 4-cost, 6,000 power character. It is Land of Wano, Thriller Bark Pirates type, no counter. But it has the effect of Dawn ×1. This character gains double attack. Okay. 4 cost 6k. Attach 1 Dawn. It swings for 7 with double attack. This is just an incredibly solid, useful card. I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. It's nothing crazy. Sorry if you guys hear my stomach rumbling, guys, getting a little hungry. It's nothing crazy. Like this isn't like a game-breaking card. But this is a card on the board that your opponent's going to have to deal with. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 because it does have to be dealt with, or else they're just beating in for 7s, bare minimum 7s with double attack. And it's a 4-cost 6k, so it's right on curve. The only downside is it does not have any special on play or on KO. It has no kind of evasion. It doesn't have a way to hurt anything when it comes into play. It does require some setup, and it does not have a counter. However, just playing this out on curve, this is a great, great card to play out on curve. Swing 7, double strike, we'll take it, or double attack, excuse me. So 7 out of 10, very good. Okay, then we have a 4-cost 6k Ryuma. A little bit of parallel action going on there, maybe, who knows. Roronoa Zoro. I can't even say that. Every time I want to say it, it's like you have to roll your R's, right? It's like Roronoa Zoro. It looks ridiculous when you're reading it, at least in English, but it sounds really cool. I bet if you could roll your R's properly and say it properly. But anyway, we'll just call him Zoro for now. He is a 4-cost, 6,000 power character, and he has Dressrosa, Supernova, and Straw Hat Crew types. He has some pretty powerful types there. And then the effect is on play, you may rest one of your Dressrosa type leader or stage cards, and then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Guys, this card is solid in blue-black Usopp. Blue-black Usopp, I think, is going to really enjoy running this card. 4 cost, 6,000 power, it's already good. And then you play this, and you don't have to rest the character on play. You have to rest a leader or stage card, and then you're going to be able to KO a 4 or less and fill up your trash. The only downside is it doesn't have a counter. Yeah, guys, this is... I think with this one, I'm going to go with like an 8 out of 10 or an 8.5 out of 10. And he's at that perfect 4 cost, so you can cheat this out with potentially with the blue-black, or excuse me, with the 7 cost Rebecca or Gecko Moria. So I mean, this card has a lot of potential. Very big fan of this card, and it's a 4 cost 6k body. I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10. Really solid card. Okay, now over to the events, guys. We got there's no longer any need for the 7 Warlords of the Sea. There's no longer any need for the 7 Warlords of the Sea. That has a little rhyme to it. I do like that. But we got a 4-cost event here. It is Navy. It has effect. The effect is main. KO up to one of your opponent's 7 Warlords of the Sea type characters with a cost of 8 or less. So that just takes care of Gecko. and any other 8 cost or lower 7 Warlords character. Very specific. I'm not a huge fan of how specific it is, but it is a very strong card. The trigger is on or KO up to one of your opponent's 7 Warlords of the Sea type characters with a cost of 4 or less. So, okay, again, this is just strictly against 7 Warlords of the Sea. I'm not a huge fan of this, but one thing we do have to consider is if this is going in a black deck, it's going to be removing any 7 Warlords of the Sea character, right? Because if they just play out like a Suru or a Tempest Kick, or, I mean, Ice Age would be a little bit overkill, but anything like that, even if it's a Navy deck that has, like, even Isho, green-black Isho, you'll be able to play, you know, you'll attach 1 Dawn to your leader, and if you have the stage in play, you can rest the stage, and that's -2, and now you're popping a 10 or less 7 Warlords character. Very, very strong effect. I just think it's a little too specific, like a very too, you know, it's too exclusive, right? It doesn't cover enough. It only covers pretty much one deck currently, right? Blue Dofi. I mean, I guess it does hit there's a few other random good 7 Warlords of the Sea type cards out there, like Gecko Moria, the 8 cost Gecko Moria. But other than that, and the trigger only hits a 4 or less, that's 7 Warlords of the Sea. I'm going to give this like a 7 out of 10. It is a very cost-efficient removal card for its cost, but it can only hit certain things. So not a huge fan of this. I even want to go like lower, like 6 out of 10. Somewhere between 6 and 7 out of 10. Okay, next up we have Gum Gum Rhino Schneider. This is a 1-cost Dressrosa Supernova Straw Hat Crew type of event. And the event is main up to one of your Dressrosa type characters gains plus 2,000 power during this turn. Then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, this card gains Banish during this turn. Trigger, draw 2, trash 1. Okay, so up to one of your Dressrosa type characters gains plus 2,000 power. Then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, it gains Banish. So this, in my opinion, is just strictly, you know... Oh, I was going to say... Never mind. I was going to say it's just better than Gum Gum King Kong Gun, but it's not quite the same. With Gum Gum King Kong Gun, you're getting double attack, right? Yeah, double attack. And this is giving Banish. But for 4 Dawn, you can... let's say you have 10 or more cards in your trash, and you have the 7-cost Luffy in play. For 4 Dawn, you're going to have a... Yeah, Dressrosa type characters, yeah. So if you already have a 7-cost... Luffy in play, and you have this card and Gum Gum King Kong Gun in hand, well, for 4 Dawn, your guy's getting, what, like plus, is it plus 7 or plus 8,000 altogether, and then they're going to have double strike Banish, and you're going to be able to stand the character once and attack again. Very, very powerful, potentially very, very powerful. Big fan of this. It's also just an annoying card that, you know, gives Banish and plus 2,000 to a character. So I'm going to give this like a nice 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10. The trigger's incredible. Draw 2, trash 1. We'll always take those. But hey, plus 2,000 for the turn, and then also Banish. We will take that. Like I said, I think maybe 6.5 or 7 out of 10, somewhere around there. Not bad. Next up, we have Liberation. This is a 6-cost Blackbeard Pirates type event. The effect is main if the number of your characters is at least 2 less than the number of your opponent's characters. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 6 or less, and one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 4 or less. So let me read this again. If the number of your characters is at least 2 less than the number of your opponent's characters, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less than the other with a 4 or less. The trigger is negate the effect of up to one of each of your opponent's... The triggers negate the effect of up to one of each of your opponent's leader or character cards this turn. Not bad, not bad. I will say this, though. That effect, the fact that you have to have two less characters... Hang on. If the number of your characters is at least 2 less than the number of your opponent's characters, you can K up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 6 and the other costs 4. That's pretty good, but it also means... How do I say this? I guess that was their way of balancing it, because otherwise maybe it would have been a little too strong. But now you have to make sure your board is that much smaller than your opponent's. But for the decks that go super wide, hey, for 6 costs, you're going to be able to remove 2 characters very easily. Very solid. And the trigger's pretty much on theme. Okay, and then we have a secret rare here, guys. This is a 6-cost, 7,000 power, 1k counter Monkey D. Luffy card. It is a Dressrosa Supernova Straw Hat type card. And the effect is, once per turn, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. So in battle, yes, bottom deck, bounce, anything like that, trashing, that can affect it. And like I said, even in battle. But it cannot be KO'd by effects once per turn. But then it also has, when attacking, you may place 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. And if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. So very good. So if they have 5 or more cards in the hand, they'll have to trash a card. And that's when attacking. And it does have some resilience to not be KO'd the first time per turn by effect. Very solid. 6 cost, 7k with a 1k counter with these effects. And remember, guys, everything we said today that's Dressrosa might also potentially have Rush, at least attacking into the board. I think this is a very solid card. I don't think it's insane or anything. I actually still like the 7 cost 7k a lot better. But this card, excellent, guys. Absolutely solid. What did I give this one? Did I rate this? I don't think I rated this card, guys. I'm going to give this card like a 7.5 out of 10. And then we did rate this one. Now for this character here, I'm also going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think this is insane or anything, but I do think it's very good. Okay. And here is the alt art for it. Looks, man, oof, that is a tough call to see which one's better, guys. I am not sure which one I like better. I like both. Oops, went the wrong way. I like both of them, but I think I like the alt art slightly better. Really cool stuff there. All right, and last but not least, guys, we got the alt art here. We got a Sanji looking absolutely dapper. Very, very clean art here, but nothing too crazy to talk about. I don't know enough of what's going on in the background to comment on that. Okay, so that's it, guys. Let me do a quick summary here. Pause and read this if you don't know what the leader does, or watch my video where I went over the leaders. Let me see something real quick. All of your, hang on opponent's turn, once per turn, this effect can be activated when your Dressrosa type character is removed. Okay, so very nice. It's Dressrosa, not Dressrosa or Straw Hat Crew. Okay. Now, anyway, just to summarize all the black cards real quick, I think this card is solid. Just a nice 4 cost 5k with a 1k counter with utility, not too bad. This Kuzan's going to probably see a lot of play in Blackbeard. The alt art goes crazy. This Momo, this is the one that did -2 cost, just solid utility, vanilla here. Burgess here, this is going to be insane, especially with the Kuzan, where it's like, okay, I'm going to swing for 5 with Kuzan, then I'm going to trash the Kuzan, and it should be on like a 7 Dawn, or either a 7 or more Dawn turn, so you'll be able to attach 1 Dawn and swing straight in with this guy after drawing a card with the Kuzan's effect. This card's extremely good. This Shiryu was actually way better than I thought after I really processed what it did. Really big fan of that one. This Chopper was okay. You know, filling up your trash and make your opponent trash cards, solid. Nami drawing a card, big fan of this one. Vanilla card, Nico Robin. Really strong Franky here that can replace itself with another blocker, always good. Brook, being able to, it's like a light version of the 3 cost 4k in my opinion, but it's more like specific to Dressrosa. Perona, this one was very solid as well. This one kind of, it's not really so much that it's insane what it does. It's just very good at helping out a very specific archetype within, you know, within green, black, thriller, bark pirates. And I guess even potentially black as well if you're just going for Gecko Moria, because you can fill up your trash so quickly. So I do think this was necessary. Saint Homing, I just don't get it, guys. I don't know what is the combo they're going for with this. I just don't get it. Ryuma, awesome, and the art goes really hard. This art's really good. This Zoro here, very strong as well. Great removal. And then the events were all pretty decent. This one was a little too specific for me, a little too exclusive, but still very solid. I like this Gum Gum Rhino Schneider in combination with the Gum Gum King Kong gun. I think it's going to be like a potential game ender if you're running the 7 cost Luffy. Okay, Liberation. I don't know if Blackbeard needed this, but they got it. Seems good. Very powerful. This new Luffy I like a lot as well. Very cool secret rare. The artwork is awesome for it. And then we have the other alt art, and then that should be it. And then back to the alt art Sanji. Okay, that's it for that, guys. I do think Black got some pretty good stuff. A lot of Dressrosa and Blackbeard Pirates type stuff, but we'll have to see how that goes. I do think this leader in particular will probably be doing very well in OP10, but only time will tell. We'll have to see. Now, let's go ahead and hop over. We got one game on the sim to go over. Oops, let me go full screen, remove this, move my camera. We got a game here of ST08 Luffy versus Vegapunk. Okay, very interesting game here. Okay, so the volume is off. The speed should be on 2x. It is, and here we go. So I went ahead and threw that hand back. I'm not sure if it was good or not. We're going to get the stage to start. I think I was just trying to get the stage to start, and now draw a card from that. And notice what I'm running, guys. This is a It is not a Straw Hat crew deck, so I'm literally just running that stage to draw cards. This is a Navy deck. I swing in for 8, pass the turn. I don't have any other play. I couldn't do. I guess I could have played out the TCG, but what does that really do for me? They're going to play out a Shaka to Life, play out a Jory Bonnie. I can take this. I will take that one, and now I can start swinging into the board because that's where I prefer to attack anyway for now. All right, so we're going to go 5 into 5. Give me a 2K counter. We'll play out this Hina. That's going to allow me to block 2 targets at once, pretty much. Well, unless they remove it, like with the Nami there, seems good. They're going to swing for 5 in here. If it hits, then they get to draw a card. I'm probably going to counter out of these pretty aggressively. Give them the 2K counter to Shigi. And now we are going to try to get rid of that Bonnie here. We can't let the Bonnie stay on the board. It just presents too much value over the course of the game. We have to get rid of that card. We're going to follow up with a Borsalino, pass turn. They use a 8-cost Katakuri and give me another life. I take that hit going back down to 4. And, you know, I'm actually kind of fine with my hand at this point. And I have to make a less than ideal play here, playing out the E-Show. It's not going to make them trash 2 cards because they have to have 6 or more cards in hand for that effect to happen. But I need a body on the board that can start to compete with that Katakuri. Now they could play out another Katakuri if they have one and bounce this to my life, and that would be horrible. However, I'm playing around the 9-cost Yamato while also trying to get something on the board because I can't let that Katakuri just sit around, right? I mean, unless he chooses not to swing, that's fine. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to swing in for 10. I've got a few options here. I can start removing characters. I'm going to use a brand new to see what all I can get. Okay, so I'm probably going to get the 2K counter T-Bone there. I was already going to use the T-Bone to remove a character, but I was hoping I could get a little bit better removal. But that's okay. We might even just block her up here. We'll have to see what we decide to do. We're going to swing for 7. I think we're going to play out T-Bone. Yeah, just play out T-Bone, pop the blocker. That was the more relevant target in this situation. There's the card I was trying to play around, but you can only play around it so much. They're going to gain 2 life this turn, playing out a Yamato and gaining a life. The life card they gave was Nico Robin. We have to give him a 1K counter here. Okay, I'm giving him a bunch of blockers from my hand. This does not feel good. 8 into 5, we'll take that one. And now I can start attacking into his board even more. Okay, I have the dream combo in my hand, guys, but it is not insane, that's for sure. We're going to play it out. We're going to trash a card. We're going to pop 1 card from that, and then we'll swing 6 into 5. And it goes. Okay, so that was pretty nice. We got pretty lucky with that. We will take it. They play out a Lilith to do a top 5 search. I think they got the Please Save Me or the Hour Quasar help with that. They're going to smash in. I'm going to let him have it. I have a 10K on the board. We're going to go 11 into 9. See if he wants to give me a 2K, 1K, and then I will clean that thing up with my leader. Yeah. So you do not want to do that. I guess I should have played out a character first just in case to get the extra Dawn, but it didn't matter either way. He's going to take that hit. Okay, let's see what he gets. He gets a Lilith. I expected him to play out something else there, but hey, that's fine. We get out a Scratchman, a Pooh, and a Hina. He's only getting 1 attack off this turn because of the Hina, unless he pops the Hina again with another Nami. Feels bad, but hey, it happens. He's going to go 7 into face here. We will take that one. He's going to go 7 more into face here. And we're going to take that one as well. I'm getting to the point where I do need to make sure I have a hand size that can compete with what's on the board. Okay, we got a 3rd Hina. Let's see if we can get this Hina to survive. And then we're probably going to go into this, into the Lilith. And I'm debating whether or not I want to attack. I think the answer is yes. We'll swing for 7. They get to draw 2 cards. We're going to pass. We actually have 8K counter in hand, so we're not exactly in a bad situation, but we're also not in an incredible situation. They go 10 into 10. I'm just going to give him a 1K counter, or 2K counter, excuse me, because that's all I had. We'll go 10 into 5. That card, he'll give us that card. Again, I should be playing out some Dawn here, I think. Or I should be playing cards out first, so that way I can get the full value from my leader effect, but oh well. That was definitely a play mistake. So we're going to swing 5, swing 6. Why did I swing with my blocker, guys? Was that crazy? No, because, I mean, they could have a rush ace, to be fair. However, they can't swing with their leader, so I'm not really worried about anything like that. And if they play out a rush ace, I actually have 2, 4, 6, 7,000 counter in hand. Okay, here we go. And they're at 3 life. Never mind. What does it matter? They can have rush ace all they want to. Okay, they're going to play out a Monkey D. Luffy there. They're going to go up to 4 life. And, guys, it might be time to just start smashing in. We'll swing 5. They do a draw 2 trash one with the Bonnie effect. We will play out this guy here. Again, I think I'm looking for removal there, but I don't have any. I don't have any removal. What I'm trying to determine is if I can survive with this Luffy on the board, and I'm thinking about removing it. Yeah, we'll just -2 with the Suru, -1 with the Apu. We'll swing in for 6, and now I can swing in aggressively, and I don't really care if he gets a card from his life now. I still have the 2 blockers, I have the 1 life, and I have 5k counter in hand. We'll swing in 10. You're on 1 life. Your turn. And now we're going to swing it up. He got a trigger to pop my guy, so I'm going to keep the Apu alive just in case. You never know, right? I mean, I should have swung for 5, to be honest, but just in case. He uses a Raigo. He's going to gain a life with Shaka. That is not going to help him. Let's see here. I think we're going to swing for 7 first. If he wants to give me any cards from hand, he takes that. We'll swing 10. He'll give me the blocker. And now we're going to come in for 13. That should be GG, even if he had, like, maybe 1 or 2. Even if he had, hang on. So 13 would take, so he has 3 Dawn active. So say he has 3 of that card that gives him plus 3,000. So that would put him at 5 goes to 8, 8 goes to 11, 11 goes to 14. It would take all 3 to get out of that 1 attack, and then I could swing in for 5 with my Scratchman Apu, and that would have to be a counter as well, or it's over. And whatever the case is, he's in top deck mode. It's just so hard to get out of that. But yeah, good game. That was a fun one. Good old ST08 Luffy. Let's go ahead and check out the deck list real quick. Move my camera out of the way. There we are. Okay, so this is the list I'm running. We got Special Agent, Dark Agent Luffy over here, Evil Luffy, whatever you want to, whatever you might call him in this kind of deck, where he's literally just running a Navy deck. Now, I am running the Scratchman Apu because it's just a 4-cost 5k blocker that can give me some cost reduction. I do like that a lot. And this stage is just meant to draw cards. That's it. That's the actual only reason I'm running it in the deck. I'm not even running the 5-cost Sanji because remember, guys, this is not the leader that can buff your characters by attaching a Dawn, buffing their costs. So running the Sanji almost makes no sense in here. However, what I was trying to do was run a combo with Isho going into Shanks, and it was okay. I got it off that game. It wasn't that crazy, though, because they had a 4 and a 5-cost character on the board, so I can only hit 1. But it does establish some pretty big bodies along the way, and if you're establishing the big bodies and removing stuff, you're also buffing your leader for the turn, so there's a lot of plus side. But notice how many blockers we're running. Guys, I'm legitimately trying to just go drop Isho and wipe your entire board while sitting behind a wall of blockers. I'm running 4 of the 2-cost Rosinantes, 4 of the 3-cost Scarps, 4 of the Borsalinos, and 4 of the Scratchman Apus. So just, I think that was that 20? Wait, 4, 8, 12, 16. It is 20. I forgot to mention the Hina. I was going to say, I know I'm running a 5-cost blocker. I'm running 4 of the 5-cost Hinas as well. So just super defensive. I've got some searchers in here. I've got some 2K counters. I've got T-Bone, Suru, and Tashigi. It's just a fun deck. It's not meant to be serious or anything. It was just a lot of fun. All right, that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm done yapping. All right, guys, big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to help me out. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Big shout out to all the VV Pirates playmat supporters. Hope you guys got your mats by now and you're enjoying them. And then last but not least, of course, the VV Pirates patron page. Thank you to everybody on here who's just donating to the channel, just trying to help me out, just trying to help me make it through, and trying to keep the dream alive. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put them in the comment section below. And, yeah. Until next time, guys. Peace.